songs. You'll see the reason for this. Although this is an album that's already going to be released, we do want to get a better understanding of, as we move forward, what type of music that we need to be concentrating on. I'm sorry.
You say something about the pencils? There's pencils too.
Oh, yeah, there's pencils down here. If you don't have anything to write on, and we'll make sure that we'll come in and hand you the no, you don't need no paper. What do you need paper?
Dang on paper. Put your hand down.
No, you don't need no. We done already been through all ours. Yeah, we know what everybody think up here. All right, so we're gonna be getting into the first song, and the first song is called "On One." So we're gonna check that out. We pray that y'all enjoy.
Yeah, we on one, the only one to the sun. We on one, I'm still on one. By his grace,
see, I'm on one, running it back. Already won, I'ma keep it a stack. Call a new era, cause Satan be capped. Mess up, boy, I know we smoking this pack. Got a cheek coming, this Bible a hack. I follow y'all, so I never lack. Living for God, and I'm not going back. My full of dope, I ain't talking about crack. No, I ain't talking cocaine. Got on my armor, I'm feeling like Bruce Wayne. Got paid it all, he lets keep the change. Watching the blood, he took off all the stains. Yeah, you know this gas, no propane. My life is great, no reason to complain. Saying key at me, but I don't entertain. Eyes on the road, man, I'm staying in my lane. Yeah, I just be counting my blessings, counting a lot. I'm getting it double, huh? I just be following God like 24/7, so I don't stumble, huh? I just be catching the pass, he tell me go long, so I never fumble, huh? Devil start talking to me, get out of my space, my personal bubble, huh?
We on one, we on one, we on one. Say we on one, we on one, we on one, we on one. Say we on.
Forever rep the Lord, he made me own. All right, yeah, again, that was On One. Anybody has anything they would like to say in reference to On One?
All right, I will start off with something. So through this whole process, there has been a lot of stuff, right? It started off with the producers. We got Smooth that produces. We got Dre Jamal that produces, and also Ye that produces. So it started off with a whole bunch of rap beats, right? Whole bunch of rap beats. And the singers were like, hey, where are singing beats at? So there was a whole lot of rap songs that had been created. So, and then the producers had switched their focus to more melodic sounding tracks. For people who cannot sing, me, I was like, where's the rap tracks now? Like, we have a whole lot of singing tracks now. So as you heard, On One is not a singing track, even though someone found a way to sing on it. It still sounded really good, but I was just like, how'd that happen? So I was like, hey, we need some aggressive sounding, like more, gritty beats, if that makes sense. So Smooth was like, I got one I've been sitting on. So I was like, hey, shoot, send it out. Let's just hear it. So that's how that beat came about, and yeah, that's how that song came about pretty much.
Okay. Anybody else like to say something about On One before we move on to the next one? Again, shout out to Smooth, made the beat.
Shout out Smooth for the beat.
Hey, Smooth. Thank you, Smooth. I just want to say that On One, when Smooth put the ratchet beat in the beat pool, and he said, I made a ratchet beat, I was like, okay. The first song that came to my mind was Shabuya, Shabuya Rug. Okay, I don't know if y'all know the song or not, okay? Okay, so I was like, oh, I'm feeling this, okay? So, yes, somebody did find a way to sing on the track. But I would say this about On One. I had wrote something to On One, put it in a group for everybody. It had like 6 bars. Was it 6? So it had like 4 bars, and I presented it, and they was like, okay, yeah, this is dope, okay? Did a little, find a way to sing on it. Came back in the studio, everybody had wrote their verses. I'm like, dang, why y'all verses so long? Mine was only 4, right? How many is it? 16. Okay, that was a challenge. I would say that about that song. That is one of my favorite beats. But that song was a challenge. We went from 4 to 16 bars. Yes, I had to get some help on that one. But I'm speaking on this one because, y'all, I was rapping on that one, okay? I pulled out my inner Merc on that one, okay? I'm done.
The last thing I'll say about On One, I think it was great because it was one of our later songs. So I think that we started to gel a little bit more than when we did in the beginning. So I think it was really a unified effort. So when it was like, hey, I'm having a little problem writing, then, next man up could be like, oh, I can help you out with that. And it wasn't a matter of like, no, I got to do it myself, or I don't really need your help. And then on the flip side, to be able to be of assistance and help was really, really, was really good. So it's like it was one of the first, I ain't gonna say the first time, but it was one of the more recent times where we just kind of had each other's back, which for me was like, okay, we're finally becoming a group.
Yeah.
And that's what it is about being a group. We got to have everybody back. We got to make sure that if a person is not trying to look like they're something that they're not, and if somebody's to say, hey, I'm weak, okay, I'm strong over in this area, okay, I got you, and that's what makes a group. And that's what the devil don't like about a group. So he tries to make sure he tears that down, because there's nothing like a unity amongst the brethren and sisterin, and it's intimidating to people when they see a mob of people walk in all on one accord. We know that the gospel in itself is a threat, right? You see what, happened even with the disciples, right? And how big of an impact that 12 made on the world, right? We know the impact of the gospel. So you put all that stuff together, it's like the enemy like, oh, wait a minute, hold up. And they all got each other's back, and then there's no egos, there's no whatever. So I just thought that On One was a good testament of us moving forward, and y'all ain't seen nothing yet in reference to our music. So
Dylan has one more thing to say, but I just want to piggyback off the devil will try, because the devil has tried, is trying, and will continue to try. I just want to say that is... We seen it. Before anybody else seen it, DeAndre was like, so this is spiritual warfare, right? And I was like, you saw it too? Okay, I just making sure we were on the same page. So anyway.
Yeah, and the last thing I wanted to say about On One is that it was one of the first songs that just like happened in the night. For me, it was just like, okay, we played the beat, and it's like, oh, I got a verse, oh, I got a verse, oh, I got a verse. And we were like, cool. Except for Dree, she had to finish her, but she Okay, let me stop. But another thing that I really love about On One is that the group feeling on the song, even when the big crowd is saying we on one, like it was a bunch of people that was on it. We had Brian, Tamika, Krista on it, Desiree, me, Ye. I think Dad did something. So it was just like everybody together, and I just thought that was really cool.
What y'all don't want me to do is go isolate each one of them vocals, because that would be funny.
It's bad isolating the vocals. It's bad.
all right, again, shout out to Smooth for that beat. It was really, really good one, got us going. So we just gonna move on to the next song. What's the next song on y'all's list? Applause. We're gonna get into Applause.
Ear, not the other. It was sending to another, living off the present mother. Follow God, cause your grandmother went to church because you loved her. Now she's an angel, think you covered. In these streets, you're playing games for the bag, you chasing lanes. Every day, the same old same. Smoking, drinking, masking pain. Smoking mirrors, shielding shame. Life be snitching, saying names. Blind, it's time to switch them frames. Think you woke up, inside, all broke up. Face on, poke up, inside like Joker. See you screaming on mute, out here chasing that loot. Dripping, thinking you cute, out here chasing that fruit. Take that, take that, take that, take that, take that. Take that, take that, take that, take that, take that. Take that, take that, take that, take that, take that. Take that, take. You can buy everything at the mall, have it all, but you still feel small. Think you're standing or you fall. Think you heard a man knocking, check the phone like you called. Think you rolling or you stalled. Only God deserves applause.
Louis Pro.
All right, that was Applause. So with Applause, I was in the process of working on my little studio room, and I heard Applause. I was listening to another song, and this word, only God deserves applause. Like, as much as you want to glorify artists that come up and they rap and they sing and they do all this stuff, you know, people with Beehive, Beyonce, like, people are always like running and clamoring after people, right? And want to just give them standing ovations and, you know, and pretty much worship them for what they do. And as I was listening to this one song, I don't even know what song it was, I just heard the Lord was saying, you know, like, only I deserve applause. And I was like, okay. And I mean, immediately when that happened, I called Dree. And I said, I think I got a song for you. And I said, I think me and you should, you know, this is like early on and when we first started. We later kind of changed how we came up with the concepts of doing music, just to kind of give everybody an opportunity. And I think we did open the door to that, but it just seemed like we were the only ones that was really kind of feeling that particular song. But when I hit her up about it, this was actually the first song you kind of was doing rap on. You had to go hard. Oh yeah, y'all made it. That was the first time. And then Dree really kind of turned from that point forward. She turned into what we call a hybrid. So on this stage we got two hybrids. And hybrid meaning we got a person that can rap and sing, do some singing, but you know, Strong Suit probably is more rap, but can do some singing. But then we have individuals who do some singing and then do rap. But then due to the fact that Dree has, of course, been singing way longer than she's been rapping, that's her strong suit, but she could flip it, right? And it gave us a whole nother dynamic, right? It opened up the door to a whole nother set of songs that we could do that could be hard as well as melodic at the same time. The song Applause, I mean, I literally thought of that song as a song that you do live. When that bass is gonna be hitting, it's gonna be a really, really good song. So anybody else have anything for Applause before we move on to the other song?
Okay, so when I first heard Applause, the first version of this, Pastor Dre decided he wanted to scream on the track.
The scream
So it
is
was
still
like,
there, by the way.
it was like he got scared. Like, it was so horrible. My kids literally was like, oh my God, what is wrong with our pastor? Look, I think I called him almost immediately, and we just had a falling out laugh about it, but we had a real serious conversation. I'm like, Pastor, you're going to have to change that. You are not putting this on a track. And then just even hearing the concept of applause, because I actually thought, at first it said a pause. Only God deserves a pause. But he had to explain to me, it says applause, like a round of applause. So I was like, okay, that's cool. Because sometimes you can misinterpret stuff and you can mishear some stuff and it don't even be what the people be talking about or even mean by it, right? So you just got to, you know, ask for clarity. And even like, you know, as far as like Dree's verse, like my girls love that verse. It's the BBLs. Look what product. And I'm like, what y'all know about the BBLs? Nothing. But somebody does know about the BBLs, right? And so it ministers to everybody differently, you know, because Dre is an old school rapper, and then Dre's an upcoming rapper. So we just thank God for the balance. Hallelujah.
I just need to say that, baby, Dree, she over here telling us, I'm just letting you know that on the next album, I'm not doing this much rapping. I'm like, ma'am, you're gonna do whatever God tell you to do because you killed it. But when the BBLs, I just want to say real quick, just the power of the music and why it's so important and the ministry is so important. Just a few days ago, if not yesterday, the member from Wild 'N Out, Jackie O, died. And it's as a result of a BBL surgery. She went under what was called a mommy makeover, which is just women who want to, you know, tighten up some things in their body after having children. And it ended in her death. So we can understand how these things that are promoted in secular music and in the industry are so dangerous, and why this kind of music is so important to remind women of their value outside of physical appearance. So that was already like my favorite part, but after seeing that yesterday, this really broke my heart, and it was like, man, Lord, I just really want people to understand this, you know?
And okay, so and just lastly, just to give a little deeper insight. Okay, so the whole take that part, right? Okay, so there's two sides to that. And now we ain't gonna go too deep into the lyrics part, but okay, this is what I was imagining when I wrote that part. The devil in the garden. going to Eve and telling her, isn't this that fruit, that's what's going to make you wise. See, like, God doesn't want you to be like him, right? And then, when it said that she looked and then she seen that it was good for food, right? Before she took it, I could just see the serpent saying, take that, 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 take that. Ah, like I got him. Yeah. And then that's the reason why it goes to, you can buy everything at the mall, have it all, but you still feel small. Think you standing, know you fall. Think you heard the man knocking. You hear, who called me? Check the phone like they called. When you rolling, know you stalled. Only God deserves applause. So that means, like, God's like, I got you. That's what the take that part was for. So so this is just one thing. See, there are a lot. Sometimes there be a little ageism going on up here, right? And what I mean by that is, it's like when you get to a certain age, people say, "Oh, you're not supposed to do that. Oh no, you can't do that." But what people don't be understanding though is when you get older, you become wiser, and there's a purpose for the things that you do.
Period.
So when you hear, take that, take that, take that, I want you to think about where the enemy in your life is looking and saying, take that, take that, take that, take that, take that, take that. Whoa, I got her, I got him. And just understand that only God deserves applause. All right, next song. All right.
I never had a real love before. I can tell that this is one for sure. You took the pain away, stress away, relieve my sins, my soul you saved. I can't repay, I don't have to worry no more. It's your love that will never forsake me. It's your love that's always guaranteed. It's your love that stays near to me. It's your love, it is your love. Give it up, I give it up. I used to wear my heart on my shoulder just to have it all tore up. My way made it that much harder. You're more than just a pretty face. To get to you, boo, make them wait. It's your love that'll never forsake me. It's your love that's always guaranteed. It's your love that stays near to me. It's your love. It's your love. All I really want is your love, your love. To satisfy me. All I really want is your love, your love. You won't deny me. All I really want is your love, your love. You sanctify me. All I really want is your love.
That was We Need Your Love. Okay, so all I'm gonna say is that this was for me, I'm just saying, all I'm saying, I'm passing the mic, is that this is a great song, number one. Number two, I think it was very needed. And shout out to the genius, Ye, for putting this beat together. It was just a really, really great beat. All right, so I'm gonna let everybody talk about We Need Your Love, which is gonna be our first.
I'm gonna let Ye go first, cause he created the beat.
So I created this beat. Complete unacknowledgement or knowledge of it sounding like anything else. Okay. There's a program on our computer that we use. It's called Splice. It allows us to download samples and sounds that we like to use or whatever. Heard the guy singing, I can't do it. And I was like, I would love to make a song out of this. And then the instruments just start. That's how the Lord does it when I come to make beats. I don't really try. They just fall into place, and I'm like, okay, we're gonna make that a beat. So that beat just came together on its own. It was gonna start off real mellow or whatever, and then I just heard a 808 under it. I was like, all right, we're gonna put the 808 under it. Skipping all the extra stuff behind the scenes. Desiree hears this beat, and she's like, I love, unbeknownst to the rest of us, she hears this song, she was like, I hear this, and I'm like, okay, I like the way that sounds. Tell her to write something. We come all to congregate together, and she's like, Dree, I want you on this song, da-da-da-da-da. Vandalin our lovely little sister over there.
It was divine that she was there that night.
Right, was in the room and heard this song. She was like, this reminds me of a song. Now, granted, I didn't hear this. Desiree said to me, this reminds me of a song. But she did not tell me that she decided to completely rip the first verse of that song and put it on this song. And Vandalyn pointed it out. She's like, no, that sounds just like this. But she also said it sounded different enough. Me and my producer mind was like, scrap the whole song because you just copied someone else's stuff. I can't get that out of my head. Now, I had to do what the name of the album says. I had to die to myself because when she redid her first verse, this is probably one of the hardest songs on the album. And so therefore I was like, okay, we're gonna die to myself today because I want to take the whole beat out. I want to just redo it all. But at the end of the day, we agreed that Desiree needed to re-record her verse, and that's what we got recently, and it fixed it. And I still am kind of like adverse to the first half of the song, but once the beat drops, I'm just like, it's one of the greatest on the album. So anyway, so I had to tell on her because she definitely took somebody's song. Like real talk, we was gonna get sued if we released that song.
Let me plead my case here. Okay. So when I first...
Thank you, sis. Thank you.
Look at Krista, she falling out over there. Okay, so listen, I really did genuinely, just even as far as how Dree's verse was, I was like, this works because it doesn't sound exactly like hers, but I knew that it would be a great remake of the song, and I vocalized this. I vocalized it, but in agreement with the group because it's not about Desiree. Amen. It's about who? Jesus. So we just thank God for humility, and I switched up the verse, and even just the words of it. It's been a rough season for me, and so writing the verse to that was personal. And I believe that anybody that's able to hear the song will know how much God really loves them. Above anybody or anything else, God loves you more. It doesn't matter what the situation is, no matter, who you've been or who you are right now, God still loves you in the deepest part, even of your mess. But he wants you to come out of it. And he wants you to understand, like, he is God. And his love is everlasting. His love is sustainable. His love, like, it goes deeper. And so that whole song, that's about the love of God. Okay? Because physical attraction, physical love, it fades. Even love of a child. I promise you, one day we're going to have to leave. But the love of God is going to forever stand and remain. So
Amen.
That's just basically what I wrote about.
I just want to say that y'all probably wouldn't have got that if she had kept it the other way. But because she changed it, then the word went forth. I mean, I'm just...
I just want to say we in ministry. We don't get paid that much. We can't be getting sued for no songs, okay? So I just got to say.
Yeah.
And now it's gone. That was good. Praise the Lord,
Okay, is that everybody? Because we're going to move on to the next song. But I'm just going to ask just a real quick question, just by a show of hands on the stage. While we're in the process of doing this project, who's had some rough patches? Okay. So, I mean, when this thing was going on, and as we were in the process, and, it was a lot happened. And when we had to get to a point where we were understanding of one another, and I'm gonna tell you, like, I'm the type of person that, when it's a task, I'm like, let's do this, And I even had to learn, because I could do this and then be insensitive to what's going on with other people and what's going on in their lives. But we persevere. We continue to push through. And, right now, we just coasting. So we're going to do Just Coast.
We don't wanna lose you. Please don't let them fool you. They doing what they used to. The choice is still up to you. Let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. Just coast.
left them messages on red, thinking about the words that you said. Trying hard not to pop off, but all these voices in my head remind me of who I was, and you keep telling me who I am. Trying not to cross these lines, but it gets hard, please understand that I'm doing the best that I can. Running fast, I'm sinking sand. See that house upon that rock? Will somebody lend a hand? I can turn the other cheek, but then my backside feels sweet.
Anybody got anything to say about Just Coast?
Just Coast. Okay, Smooth again. Just Coast? You did Just Coast beat? Okay, cool. So we got another Smooth beat.
Yeah.
Up for Smooth. Just Coast was a really fun song for me. I haven't been doing music for very long. Haven't even wrote many songs. But Flatline was already like, you already have a lane that you're in. That's the one thing about being a part of a group, especially a group of people who are older than you and wiser than you and can help you out. They already seen a pattern of songs that I want to hop on. And they were like, okay, I know it's only been a few months, but you need to get out of that. And I'm like, dang, I just got here. Can you let me do my little songs? So, yeah, they were like, nah, let's stretch you, even though you just started. I'm like, okay. And then I let me rock. But it was really cool. So Just Coast came about. Dree started off the song. When the deluxe edition comes out, you will hear the other verse that is on it. I'm not going to say who. I'm going to keep it as a surprise. But yeah, for the podcast. Okay, so yeah, they were like, we need another verse. And I was like, why not? You know, so whatever. So it ended up coming about, I think I wrote my verse in like a day or two. It was like the night I heard it, I went home, slept for a good 2 hours, and woke back up with the song in my head. And then I was like, I got my verse. And then I just wrote my verse right there and then went back to sleep. And it was like one of the quickest times I've ever wrote a verse because the song really spoke to me. Even when recording the song, I don't know what happened, but something got me mad. If you know me, what happened?
Your daddy.
I was about to hand the mic over, but I don't know if I want to do that now.
She got another mic right there, Pam.
It might have been Dad. I think it was honestly a combination between Dad and Krista. Because I remember Krista being one of the reasons why I was mad. But that's besides the point. It was a mixture between them two. It was a little while ago. Because I think it had something to do with getting around, transportation. Yeah, that was before I could drive. So I was like, yeah, it was something. So I was like really mad in the studio. I was literally in the booth about to record my verse. And then the song turned on because, you know, I like to get a little lead in before I start. And I just heard the let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go, Just Coast. And I was like, dang, that's literally what the whole song is about. So I'm in the booth like about to start rapping. I'm like, yeah, I can't even start yet. I was like, yay, pause real quick. I was like, because I'm mad right now and I just got spoken to. So the song really powerful. Shout out Dree for coming up with that idea and Smooth with the beat.
All right.
I ain't gonna tell you. Well, yeah, because this creative process for this song was that I was mad. I was mad. I was pregnant. I was irritated. I was hot. All the above, huh? I was mad. That's how the song came about. That's how the song came about, but the song was a woosah. It was a release.
Sure.
It was some stuff happening that had me heated, had me ready. I know. I'll give you a piece. My husband's back there. I pulled up to work. I was working with DeAndre and Cherie one day. Something happened. Something happened. I tried to. Y'all hear my testimony later about me back in the day. But my pull-up game is strong, pregnant and all. I had a rough emotional time this pregnancy. And I remember trying to get those keys and pull up on somebody, not him. He had to say, I think you should call off from work today. And I did. And he, you know, I wrote this song after that. I'm gonna leave it at that for the podcast. I had to let it go. Left the messages on red, thinking about the words that you said to me. But God.
All right, that's where you gotta let it go. Just coast. And you know, and it has ministered to a lot of people. The few times that we've done that song, or at least I've seen the song be ministered, it really, you know, resonates with people, saved and unsaved. So I think that it's gonna definitely be a good lead-in when we're actually out in the trenches, you know, with people.